Would you like to save a few thousand a year just for a couple of hours worth of work? If you own a home in Texas and you haven't been disputing your property taxes yet, let me show you how. Hey everyone, Alex Hunter here from Your Realty Group, and welcome back to another huge money-saving video from Your Realty Info, where we share helpful tips about current real estate topics. Today we're going to go over how your property's value is assessed, what things you can do to lower your property tax liability and how much you could save, and then show you a step-by-step guide on how to file your property tax protest. But before digging in, please pay it forward by sharing this video. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell to stay informed about all of our trending real estate topics. Since the skyrocketing of home prices over the last 2 years, the Bexar County Tax Assessor Collector Albert Uresti's office has been holding seminars to educate people on how they can lower their taxes. The reason for this is because the county uses a blanket approach algorithm to generate the appraised value for your home. It looks at recently sold comps with similar features within close proximity to your home and takes into account inflation trends in the previous years to come up with this value. Now, the problem with this is that they are basing the numbers from market value as of January 1, which is what the Texas Property Tax Code requires. However, they are anticipating inflation based on previous economic trends. These values include recent spikes and aren't the normal. And the algorithm doesn't appear to be considering the market corrections that are now taking place. The first and probably most important thing to know about disputing your taxes is the deadlines and timelines that you have to adhere to. January 1 is the date in which the appraisal district is required to use for the market value of your home and calculate the property assessed value based on that date. From January to March, the appraisal districts are working diligently to appraise every home within their district. In 2023, Bexar County sent out some 600,000 appraisal increase notices. In late March to early April, your notice of appraised value is typically sent to you. Now, once you've received your notice, save the envelope for the postmark date. Your deadline to file a protest is either May 15th or 30 days from the postmark date on the notice, whichever is later. Once you have this notice, you can either file by mail or you can go online to bcad.org and file a protest. I highly recommend filing for this online. And for those that don't have the ability to or just aren't comfortable with the option, you can find a local realtor like myself that may be willing to help. Now, for those that are outside of Bexar County, you can just do a simple Google search for whatever county you're in, appraisal district, and it should pull right up for you. Now, 15 to 25 days after you've submitted your online dispute, you should be receiving a response letting you know that they've reviewed your dispute and are offering you a settlement value. Don't accept this value unless you are comfortable with the number that they've given you. If you do, you're finished with minimal work. If you don't, understand that you cannot revert back to this number later on in the process if you don't like the new number that they give you. Typically, within 30 to 45 days, once you've declined the settlement, you'll be notified by email and by mail for those who e-filed with an upcoming hearing date. Normally, it's between June and August. However, last year, my meeting was in October due to them being behind. Now, you have the right to a telephone, virtual, in-person, or hearing by affidavit. The fastest of these is by telephone. Now, on the day of the hearing, you'll dial in a number that they provide to you, and then you're screened and verified and be asked to wait for the other parties to be ready for the meeting to begin. This can take up to about 15 minutes. Sometimes they may even ask you if you want to reschedule the hearing because they're so far behind. Now, the parties involved in the hearing are the Appraisal Review Board, or ARB, which typically consists of 3 homeowner volunteers within the district elected by a local judge. You also have a third-party appraiser, independent from the tax assessor office, who's done their own valuation of your property. And then the third party is yourself. Now, when the hearing starts, the board will likely ask you if you'd like to present first or if you'd like the appraiser to go first. If they ask, you always want to have the appraiser go first. This allows you to hear what the appraiser has to say so you can formulate any rebuttals when it's your time to speak and present. Don't be rude and don't interrupt the board or the appraiser during their time speaking, even if you disagree with them. The value of your home is very subjective, and you attract more with honey than you do with vinegar. Now, after you and the appraiser have presented the evidence to support your opinions of value, The Appraisal Review Board may ask you if you wish to agree to the new appraised amount that the appraiser has given. If this amount is acceptable to you, then you can go ahead and agree to it. You'll electronic sign it and you'll be done. If you don't agree to that, then you leave it up to the board, who will ultimately decide the value of your property. Now, if you're still unsatisfied with the value that the Appraisal Review Board has come up with for your home, you can appeal this and go to arbitration. However, understand that arbitration requires you to pay a $450 to $500 deposit in Bexar County, and if you lose your case, you lose all of that money. If you win your case, however, you are refunded back your deposit less a $50 administrative fee. So now you know the process, let's get you prepared for it. So first, you want to check and make sure that you've filed for all of your property tax exemptions. This should be listed on the property tax notice of assessed value that you received. At minimum, if you live in your property, you should be receiving the General Residence Homestead Exemption. This caps your property tax liability to be increased by no more than 10% each year. Other exemptions include the over age 65 exemption, the disabled persons exemption, the disabled veterans exemption, and the surviving spouses of armed forces and first responders exemptions. Did you know if you're over the age of 65, you can defer 100% of your property taxes? Come on, boys! Also, that not only surviving spouses may qualify for the surviving spouses of armed forces and first responders exemption, but their child or a parent if there is no spouse. For more information on how to qualify for these exemptions and how much you can save with them, check out our video on property tax exemption. Next, you'll want to go around to your home and make a list of any major maintenance needs that you might have. The common items that I recommend everyone get bids for, even if you don't think that you have any issues, are foundation, roofing, siding, your AC and heating system, windows, and kitchen and bathroom countertops if they don't already have some type of natural or man-made stone surface. Now, most homes in San Antonio have foundation issues. This is due to the composition of our soil here. You just want an estimate back to correct the issue. If you haven't had any roof repairs done and you've had hailstorms or wind in the last year or two, there's a good chance you may have roofing damage that you don't even know about. So get that checked as well. Now, high dollar utility issues like water, sewer, electrical, and AC and heater would be another potential thing to get checked out. These are some of the most common deferred maintenance items to help reduce your home's assessed value. Now, you want to contact vendors for each item on your list and have them come out to give you a free estimate for taking care of it. I typically contact the 3 biggest name companies for each issue that I have because they offer free and comprehensive estimates that typically include pictures of any findings. It's best to have these pictures as this will help prove your case. It also helps to uncover any maintenance issues that you didn't even know you had. If they give you options for different tiers of repairs, you want the most complete repair or replacement possible, no matter the cost. You aren't required to get the work done, and you'll be able to claim this each year with an updated estimate until such time as you have the work fixed on your home. One thing to note is you'll want to start this as soon as possible each year, as some vendors are booked 1, 2, 3 months in advance. Understand, when it comes to maintenance needs, it's not a matter of how small or major the needs are. It's the fact that they're likely not up to the standards of other homes that are selling in and around your neighborhood that your home is being compared to. Now, while you're waiting for these vendors to come out and give you the estimates, if you haven't done so already, now's the time to call a local realtor like myself and ask them to provide you with a free comparable market analysis, or CMA for short. This looks for similar properties comparable to yours within the community that have recently sold. Because the market has started to correct itself, it's likely that these comps will be lower valued than the comps used for your market value as of January 1 of this year. Just yesterday, I did one for a gentleman on the northeast side of San Antonio and found out that they had overvalued his property by $100,000. Now, once you've gotten your CMA and all the maintenance estimates back, add up the highest bids for each item on your list. Subtract that from the assessed value that received on your property tax notice or from the CMA, whichever is the lower value. Use this value to formulate an opinion of what you feel that your property is worth. Now, regardless if you have all of your supporting documentation back yet or not, you need to go to the County's Appraisal District website and file your dispute. Again, no later than May 15th or 30 days from the postmark date on that notice. Now for this video, we're going to go to Bexar County Appraisal Districts at bcad.org and show you how to begin filing your dispute. For your convenience, I've listed all of the surrounding appraisal districts websites in the comment section below. Now once you've come to your appraisal district's website, you're going to click on Online Services. You're going to click on the Online Services icon. So if you haven't created an account yet for your county's appraisal district, go ahead and click on Create New User. Now at the top of your Notice of Appraised Value, you're going to have an Owner Agent ID, which you'll put in here, and then you will also have a PIN. And you go ahead and click Next. Once you've got your account created, you're going to go ahead and log in. So you're going to go to Online Appeals, and then you're going to click here to eFile. So we're going to go ahead and click on this, and we're going to click on eFile here, or you can click on eFile down here. If you click the one down here, this would be for multiple properties if you had them selected. So now you're going to enter your information below for the protest. So the first thing you want to check is to e-file my protest and conduct the rest of the process electronically through this website. This is the quickest and fastest option. You can go into an office, but again, you're going to have delays by doing that. I would like to receive a hearing reminder. I would always recommend getting the reminder for your hearing. And then always click on the I would like to request a copy of the evidence which will be used in the hearing. And then evidence delivery method, you can select online, by mail, or in person. I always just do it online because I get an email that updates me once they have submitted documents online that I can go and download. For comments here, I'm going to put inaccurate appraised value and deferred maintenance. That's simple because you're going to be providing them with documentation later on that's going to show why you're thinking the value of your home is less than what they have valued it as. You're going to put your phone number in here if it's not already populated. Check on the box, I'd like to receive updates with my protest via text message to my cell phone. If you would like to, data rates do apply. You're going to consent to these data rates right here, and then you click Submit. So now we're on the Create Protest page, and we're just going to go through and verify our address here, and then we've got a hearing reminder request, evidence requested, and delivery method set for online. For an opinion of value, typically you would have this number once you formulated that opinion based on all of the previous steps that I've provided in the video. If you're still waiting for estimates and bids to come back for deferred maintenance items, that's fine. What I would recommend in that case is just go ahead and put an opinion of value of whatever your assessed value was last year. This does not mean that this is what your final is going to be when everything is said and done. This is just a rough estimate to start things out with. So your protest reasons, you're going to have VOMN incorrect appraisal market value. So this would be anything that you can provide that the appraiser or the tax assessor's office does not know about. This could be things like deferred maintenance. It could be, an abandoned house right next to yours that's lowering your property value, or, the car that's in the neighbor's yard that has 4-foot tall grass growing around it that's devaluing your property. All right. You're going to always check this box. Now the VUE, value is unequal to comparable properties. You may or may not check this box. It depends on the comparable market analysis that was provided to you by your realtor like myself in order to check this. If the comparable market analysis shows that homes are now selling for a value that's less than what the appraisal district valued your home at, then you would absolutely want to check this box. All right. If the value in the comparables is more, you do not check this. Now, once you've got everything checked and you've gone through everything, you're going to go ahead and hit the submit button. And now you've successfully submitted the protest for your property taxes. I highly recommend printing this. I typically print it to PDF. Some people like to export it. You can just export it to here, and now you have it. And then you just click Done. Now when you look to verify this, you're going to see Protest ID, and it's going to say Pending here. That's another way to verify that the last screen did actually submit. If you had multiple homes, you would just want to go through the list and check multiple protest IDs and make sure that they all say pending. Now, the last thing that we want to talk about is after we've submitted our protest and after we've gone through declining the settlement, going to the ARB review board, having the hearing, you don't agree with the opinion of value that the third-party appraiser has put on your home. You don't agree with the value that the board has come up with for your home. Your next step would be to dispute and go through arbitration. Now, once you're ready to set up your arbitration for disputing the value, after you've gone through the hearing and the review board and the third-party appraiser, you're going to come back to bcad.org or whatever appraisal district site you're using that your home is located within. And then for here, you can go to taxpayer resources. And then we're going to go down to arbitration information. And this link is going to take us over to the comptroller for Texas. And it's going to give you all the information you need to know about arbitration. So now that you've seen how to protest your property taxes, make sure to protest them every year. The good news is that once you've done these things, it makes it much, much easier to do it again. If you don't, your tax liability will compound on itself year over year, just like inflation does. This will also negatively impact you whenever you're planning to sell your home. Because the property taxes are higher, it reduces the purchasing power of the buyer. Now, if you're thinking about buying or selling your home, contact us for a free 30-minute strategy session to explore your options and see how we can help. We'd love to hear from you in the comments below with any questions that you've had. Don't forget to share this video, and thanks again for watching.